So questions still stirring over President Trump's claim that former President Obama wiretapped him. The White House responding earlier today.
We believe that the House and Senate Intelligence Committee have the appropriate forum and process and staff to look into this matter and report back.
All right, my next guest says President Trump does have a point. Joining me now is former Congressman Dennis Kucinich from Ohio. He is also a Fox News contributor. This story sounded a little too familiar to you when you heard it. Is that right? Tell us about what happened to you.
It sure did. In 2011, after checking with the House General Counsel, I received a phone call from a foreign leader, in this case a member of the Libyan government concerned about an upcoming U.S. attack. And 2 years after I left office, the Washington Times came to me, and they played for me a recording of the conversation that took place in my office. So the call was intercepted. There was a tap. And a member of Congress is not supposed to experience that, but I did. So when I heard about President Trump saying that somebody tapped his phone as a presidential candidate, it seemed to me to be believable because, hey, if it happened to a member of Congress, and it's been proven, anybody can go to the website on this story on Fox.com and actually listen to the recording.
Let me ask you, I mean, you say that this isn't supposed to happen to a member of Congress, but the response that we've heard about what may or may not have happened to Donald Trump or what happened to General Flynn was that they were really recording the other side. And in your case, it was that they were trying to find out what this, what the Libyan was saying to you. So why is that not okay then? Well,
let's first talk about Congress. There is a concept, it's a principle called separation of powers. And if an intelligence agency is involved in a call that's intercepted and they find out that a member of Congress is on that call, they're supposed to discontinue it immediately. So because
it wouldn't apply in the case of General Flynn.
Well, the General Flynn is in a somewhat different category. But the question is it possible that not just General Flynn, but President Trump's phone was tapped? And look, I mean, I know from my own experience that kind of stuff can happen. And the problem is, if it can be done to me as a member of Congress or a presidential candidate, what about the people watching out there? And people are very concerned about whether their privacy is being invaded by the government.
Not only that, there's the second leg of the story, which is how did the Washington Times get that recording? I mean, that's really, that's what I think the president would be asking in terms of how does it get in the hands of the media? Who leaked it? Do you have any idea?
That is a key question, because the Washington Times actually contacted me to listen to the tape so I could authenticate it. I said, sure, that's my voice. That conversation happened. And where are we? How did this happen? I didn't get into the discussion of who gave it to them, because they weren't going to tell me anyway. I did a Freedom of Information request of all the intelligence agencies before I left office. And 5 years later, I'm still waiting for a response from some of those agencies.
Okay, because that's the other question, is they're saying if there is no evidence of somebody, putting in an order or looking for it somewhere along the way, that if you did a Freedom of Information Act, it would unearth who had tapped, in President Trump's case, those phones. But you're saying that you've been searching for it the same way and you've never figured out.
5 years later, I have a stack of FOIA requests about this thick. And 5 years later, there are several intelligence agencies that have still not responded to my request. And so how do you even know who did it if the agencies won't even respond?
Right. Let me ask you before we run out of time. The U.S. is sending another 400 additional troops to Syria to prepare for the fight in Raqqa. I know you're not happy about this. What's your stand?
It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. Why are we invading Syria? And not only that, but there's over 80,000 fighters from 90 different countries in Syria. Why are they there? To help the Syrian government? No. To help the Syrian people? No. They want a caliphate. The radical Islamic fundamentalists want a caliphate in Damascus with Sharia law. Why is the United States in that? Our soldiers are going to get shot at from every side. It's stupid for us to be there. We should get out.
Okay. Congressman Kucinich, thanks for coming on today. We appreciate your time.
It's good to see you. Thanks.